think that I'm a god and will view people as like just kind of things.
So are you, like as we speak right now, are you feeling like you're a god right now?
Well, if I'm God and I take away your free will and I release your spirit, I take your spirit back. I'm really scared.
What are you afraid of?
Myself.
6:02 a.m. Columbus, Ohio. A man calls 911 and says 4 words. I murdered my girlfriend. The dispatcher asks where he is. He gives an address on Berkeley Road. Then he says something that makes no sense. I'm not there anymore. I'm at my mom's house. I want you to kill me. His voice is calm. Too calm. Officers are sent to both locations. At Berkeley Road, they find Shannon Hyatt. 29 years old. Dead on her hallway floor. 29 stab wounds. Throat cut. She has been dead for hours. At the second location, they find the caller. Chance Donoghue. 26 years old. Shannon's ex-boyfriend. Sitting in his car outside a Sheetz gas station. Hands visible. Not resisting. When they arrest him, he says, I don't hide my shit. I turned myself in. Here is the question, why would someone who committed murder in the middle of the night, alone, with no witnesses, call the police on himself 6 hours later? This is Cold Case Beacon. And you are about to hear exactly what he said. If you are here for the truth, the whole story, no shortcuts, hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment with your thoughts. We do not do surface level coverage. We go all the way in. Every time. 6:18 a.m. Officers push open the front door at Shannon Hyatt's home. The door frame is splintered. Someone forced their way in. Body cam footage captures what happens next. Police. No response. Can I kick the door? I'm good. Kick the door. They step inside. Yep. She's dead. She's right here. We got her. Shannon is lying face down in the hallway. Blood everywhere. The officers call for a medic. Patty, get me a medic. 34 and 1411 Berkeley. Okay, we do have units headed over there right now. One officer radios back. Hang on. Hang on. We got one. Got one on the floor. Another officer sees something. I got a shotgun, guys. But there is no shooter. Just a body. And a house that is completely silent. Do we know who she is? Yeah. He said it was his wife. Not his wife. His ex-girlfriend. They broke up 9 days ago. 6:18 a.m. That is the official time of death. But Shannon Hyatt died hours before anyone found her. While the scene is being secured, other officers are moving toward Powell, Ohio. Chance Donoghue told dispatch he would be at his mother's apartment. But when they get there, he is not inside. His mother says he left. He is close by. They find him at a Sheetz gas station. Standing outside his vehicle. Both hands out the window for me. He puts his hands out. Then he pulls them back in. Put your hands out. Keep them out. Keep your hands out. He complies. They take him into custody. His right hand is covered in cuts. Deep lacerations across his palm and fingers. The kind of injuries that happen when your hand slips down a blade. He is taken to a hospital. The nurses ask standard intake questions. Have you harmed yourself? Have you harmed anyone else? He reacts badly. Gets agitated. An officer steps in. Just so you know, those questions she was asking you, they ask everybody when they come in here. They do not know why you're here. Chance looks at him. That's why I was so awkward. Sorry about that. I don't hide my shit. I turned myself in. After his hand is treated, after evidence is collected, he is moved to Franklin County Jail. 2 detectives are waiting. Detective Phelan. Detective Jude. They sit him down. Bring him water. Notice he is still handcuffed. Are you handcuffed still? You want me to take that off? Would you be more comfortable? Yeah. They remove the handcuffs. I bet you're thirsty. I brought you a water. Thank you. And then they let him talk. Chance Donoghue does not ask for a lawyer. He does not hesitate. Detective Phelan starts simple. I'm Detective Phelan. This is Detective Jude. I'd shake your hand, but looks like your hand's injured there. Yeah. You're Chance. MHM. I don't want to assume things, but I'm guessing that you want to talk to us about what happened because you called, right? Yeah. Right. So why don't you just kind of take me through yesterday leading up to last night and today? What happened? Chance does not pause. His voice is flat. I was basically, I had like a major psychological break and like kind of completely and utterly like lost control of my actions. Which I know is not an excuse and I need to pay for my mistakes and my actions and like pay the consequences for everything. Okay. I drove home from hanging out with a friend. I was hanging out, well I called my friend Wesley. I was just kind of driving around because I just didn't really know what to do. When was this? This was at about like 11 last night. Okay. I was just driving around between like 11 and like midnight. Okay. And just kind of like trolling around. And had you met with Wesley? No. Wesley, I hadn't seen Wesley since I left the job site. You work together? Yeah. Okay. Where do you work? I'm a stage hand for like festivals, so like we build the stages and stuff. Okay. Or I guess I was, but we work for a wide variety of different companies that contract subcontract companies that hire people for that. So you worked yesterday, which was Monday. What time did you start work? What time did you get off? I started right before 10 and I got off at around 6:30. Okay. And then we hung out at the venue-like job site for a little bit and then I left to go home. Where was the job site? It's that big park that's like, it's the OSU park, the big field. It's right off of like Ackerman. Okay. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. If you're at 5th and Ackerman, it's like right there on that corner of that big open field. Yeah. Right across from the cemetery. Okay. But I went home and then I was like had a conversation with my mom and like completely spilled beans about everything that she knew that she has had continued to say and then I just went for a drive to try and clear my head. The detectives do not interrupt. They let him keep talking. So basically I was driving around and I thought to myself, I should check myself into a mental hospital because I'm not really all that safe. He says this like he is ordering coffee. Calm. Matter of fact. And then on my way home, I had like this weird thing that was just like, well, if you want Shannon back and you can't get her back, you can like take her life force and then you'll be together forever. Detective Phelan leans forward slightly. I went home and I changed my clothes in all black and I grabbed the knife and I went over to her house and I approached the door which I'm sure you'll see on her doorbell camera ring camera at some point throughout your investigation. Okay. I twisted the doorknob. She screamed, I will call the cops. And I slammed my shoulder into the door 2 times. After the first time she said, are you kidding me? Because I think that she thought I was just being obnoxious and pounding on the door or something. Or honestly I don't even know if she knew it was me until I got into the house. He pauses. And then the second shove gave way and I didn't make a noise. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. And I just, started stabbing Shannon and she didn't even realize what was happening until I had stabbed her a couple times. Detective Phelan and Detective Jude do not react. They just listen. I don't know how many times I stabbed her. I know it's a lot. I also know that I cut her throat to speed up the process. What kind of knife do you remember? You guys should have possession of the murder weapon, but it's just a kitchen knife. Okay. And where did the knife come from? Your mom's house or? Yeah, I grabbed it out of the knife block. Okay. And I just remember looking at her and just kind of like feeling like I was like taking on like her spirit, I guess. And like I don't know, I felt less alone than I felt since our breakup in that moment. He says this with no emotion. Like he is describing a meal he ate. And then I immediately found out after that she had started sleeping with Matthew, who she had like just recently started being friends with, and told me not to worry about again because he's been problematic in her life before. So you found this out after? Yeah. Okay. I didn't have a reaction to it. Honestly, I was just happy that I had what I'm just happy like I'm still happy. Detective Jude writes something down. Detective Phelan keeps his eyes on Chance. You mentioned earlier that if you took her life force that you would feel closer to her. What does that mean exactly, like as far as? Well, it's kind of like a Native American belief of like absorbing the soul whenever you kill an animal. Okay. And like I don't know, like you're absorbing it, and like I don't know. Oftentimes whenever I'm experiencing episodes of psychosis, think that I'm a god. Okay. And will kind of view people as like just kind of things. I've never been violent to this extreme before. Detective Jude looks up. So are you like as we speak right now, are you feeling like you're a god right now? Chance does not hesitate. I mean, yeah. And we're like objects in front of you. I mean, I just want to get your state of mind because, you know, we all have different lenses. I mean you're not necessarily objects. You are people of authority, and I am paying the price for like human laws and stuff like that because I am in a human vessel, but like yeah, like I'm definitely like a god and like can make things happen. Detective Phelan and Detective Jude exchange a glance. Neither speaks for a moment. Then Detective Phelan asks, what happened after? 1:12 a.m. Shannon Hyatt is dead on the floor of her own hallway. Chance Donoghue does not leave. After I killed her, I was like, well, if we're going to be here, would you just put on some gloves? Because in my head I was like, I lived here for a year and a half. If my fingerprints are on the door, that's not necessarily a very strange or out of place thing. Right. If my fingerprints are like here, there, whatever, like that's just kind of to be expected. But I put on the gloves to just kind of make myself feel a little bit more comfortable. To keep your blood from dripping. Yeah, that too. He stays in her house for 3 hours. 1:15 a.m. He lights a cigarette on her porch. Shannon's cats are inside. They do not understand why their owner will not get up. 1:40 a.m. He unplugs the Wi-Fi router. 2:11 a.m. Neighborhood surveillance captures his shadow moving through the window. His hand, covered in blood, visible on the porch camera. 2:30 a.m. He picks up Shannon's phone. Scrolls through her notes. Reads something she wrote about another man. 3:20 a.m. He finds her toolbox. Grabs a drill. Uses it to screw the front door shut. 4:36 a.m. He finally leaves. 3 hours and 24 minutes. Her body is on the floor the entire time. Smoked a couple cigarettes after disconnecting the Wi-Fi too. Cut her security system off. When you came back the second time, did you just park in the driveway or did you park down the street? I parked around the corner originally and then I pulled into the driveway after I killed her. Okay. Okay. So you disable her cameras. Emicham. At this point. Emicham. You go out and smoke. Had you disabled the cameras before you went out and smoked? It was after. Okay. It was after I was just kind of sporadically doing things. At the end of the day, I knew that I wasn't going to get away with it. It was just how much time can I give myself to experience freedom before I go to jail for the rest of my life. He knew. He planned. He stayed. Okay. So you knew where all of her stuff was because you lived together, right? Yeah, we lived together for a year and a half. I cleaned everything. I did all the handyman shit. Like that house was put together basically by me. Shannon Hyatt graduated from Ohio State University in 2017 with a bachelor's degree in psychology. She recently achieved her fraud investigator certification with Nationwide Insurance Company. She loved music festivals. That is where she met Chance. He was a stagehand. She was a fan of the scene. They moved in together in the summer of 2022. They lived together for nearly a year. To everyone who saw them, they seemed good together. She had stability. He had potential. For a while, it worked. But it fell apart in August 2023. On August 20th, Chance moved out. Shannon told him she needed to focus on herself. She needed to be single for a while. 9 days later, she was dead. The detectives asked Chance to walk them through the attack. Step by step. You put your shoulder into the door, right? That's how you got in. And did the door bust? Yes. It pops right open. So then how far do you come into her house? I go right over to the couch where she is sitting. She's to my left when I go in the door. I bust in the door and she screams, "Oh my God, Chance. Chance." She gets up and she tries to run away or attack me back and I just start pounding the knife into her. Chest or back? Do you remember where? All of the stab wounds are from probably about here up, he says, gesturing to his upper torso. On the front and the back. And when did the knife slip? The adrenaline was so high I didn't even realize it happened until afterwards. I originally thought that she dislocated my pinky whenever she was fighting back. Okay. So she's either running towards you or trying to run past you. You're a few feet into the house. Yeah. You're kind of a few feet into the house. I just go straight at her and I don't say anything. I don't scream. I don't yell. I don't make a noise. I just start stabbing. Detective Phelan pauses. What were you thinking at that point? Like as far as, because I saw it was pretty gruesome. At first the adrenaline was so overwhelming and euphoric that I didn't really know. Euphoric. That is the word he uses. The detectives ask about Matt. Matt Kilkoff. The man Shannon may have been seeing. Who's Matt? Matthew is, somebody that she was having some form of romantic relationship with. Okay. When you say come home, was he living there? I don't know. He's homeless. So I know that he was storing a bunch of drugs there because he's a drug dealer and whatever. Like what kind of drugs? Ketamine, MDMA, probably cocaine because he's a huge coke head. Did you get ketamine from this guy before? In the past. But it's been a really long time. Okay. So you just kind of ran into maybe some of the same circles. Yeah. And I mean that's how I met Shannon, just through concerts in the music scene. The detectives ask when he saw Matt. I think he left town to actually go to work, but I don't know because I actually watched him leave. You watched him leave where? Their house or Shannon's house? Their house. Not her house. Their house. When was that? Like in the last week? No, like yesterday. Last night. Okay. Like before you went into the house or? Yeah. 11:47 p.m. Chance drove past Shannon's house. He saw Matt leaving in a van. 12:32 a.m. Chance went home. Changed into all black. Grabbed a knife. 1:03 a.m. He returned to Shannon's house. 1:09 a.m. He forced the door open. 1:12 a.m. Shannon was dead. I just drove by because at first like all I wanted to do was just like knock and talk. But like I don't know. I know like this doesn't make any logical sense because knocking and getting the police called on you and getting a trespassing charge is far less severe than getting a murder charge. But I got to spend time with the vessel that was Shannon and I got to absorb her spirit. The vessel that was Shannon. So when you drove by, you see Matt in the van. Did that make you upset that he was there? Not really because I didn't really think anything of it. Okay. What made me upset is honestly not really upset like just more so like a combination of everything. Like a little bit of upset, a little bit of just like. Detective Phelan interrupts. Did you feel betrayed in that moment? I mean like I felt betrayed the whole breakup. Sure. She's been just like telling everybody everything. And there it is. The first crack. If you're still watching at this point, drop a comment with, "I'm still here." Let's see who's truly following this shocking story. And if you want cases like this told with the depth they deserve, hit subscribe. Cold Case Beacon doesn't do surface level coverage. We go all the way in, ****. The detectives ask about the breakup. What happened between him and Shannon? Chance says Shannon started posting about him online. She's been completely and utterly trashing my mom all over the internet and making my mom out to be a laughingstock and saying things like me and my mother's relationship is extremely inappropriate, like implying that like we want to have sex with each other and shit, like it's fucking disgusting. Detective Phelan asks, did that make you angry? Are you kidding me? Yeah. You have the audacity to start publicly saying that the reason I date older women is because I have an Oedipus complex. You're only 3 years older than me. It's not like I'm out here dating 40-year-old women. You know what I mean? Dating somebody that's 3 years older than me. That's perfectly normal. Yeah. And like. So she implied that you had some attraction to your mom. Yeah. Yeah. And that was pretty hurtful. Yeah. She implied that we had an extremely inappropriate relationship and just kept just saying it in ways that was implying that there was some kind of weird sexual tension and weirdness. Where did she air this out? All over Facebook. The detectives ask what Shannon posted. Chance says she posted in a group called, "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" She posted his photo. Warned other women to stay away from him. Said he stole from her. Said he lied. Said he scammed people. August 22nd. 2 days after the breakup. Shannon posted. This guy comes off super sweet and honest but isn't. He stole my medications. He stole my money to buy drugs. Since making friends aware of why the relationship ended, I found out he's been scamming them too. Stay away. 43 likes. 56 comments. People Chance knew. People he worked with. People in the music festival scene. 3 days later, she posted again. Ohio Rave Sisters. Same photo. Same warning. Then she posted about his mother. She told me that she wasn't going to tell anybody about the theft and stuff because I paid her back the money, right, that I took. And the only reason I took the money is because she took my debit cards because she didn't trust me with finances. Okay. And so I'm not trying to sit here and say all of my actions have a rational and logical explanation because I don't want to be this way. I don't want to lie, but I don't know how to stop. I don't want to steal, but I don't know how to fucking stop. Right. And now, is that in part because of the addiction, do you think, with ketamine? I mean the stealing had to do with being Shannon thought that the stealing had everything to do with the addiction when in reality I go through bouts of unemployment because of the nature of my work. He has an explanation for everything. But Shannon could not tolerate it anymore. And I'm not going to lie to you, there is a part of me that's very upset knowing that they slept together because the first thing that Shannon said whenever she got out of our relationship was, I need to be single for a while and really figure out my own, right? And then I saw something that she wrote down saying, I feel like I'm really falling into the same patterns with Chance with Matt and I don't know how to feel about it. Well, did she write that down? In her notes on her phone. Okay. So this isn't something you knew ahead of time. This is something afterwards. I mean, I assumed. Sure. Because I just. What's this dude doing at her house anyways, right? Well, like men and women can be friends, you know what I mean. Like there can be like intergender friendships, but like at the end of the day, like. But you suspected something was going on. Yeah. Like obviously I saw her dancing with him like the day after like we broke up at the concert, right? So like I'm sitting here and I'm like, don't play me like a fool. Just be real with me. Well, you're a smart guy. That's clear. I mean, to be completely honest with you, if she would have told me that she was sleeping with somebody else, I probably would have just hated her and been like, fine, enjoy your new boyfriend, whatever. I'm just going to go fuck bitches, get money, like whatever. He says this like it is reasonable. But I thought that she was being single and I thought that she was like working on herself, and then she's making all these nasty posts about me and my mom, and I just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed because these aren't like small things, dude. They're like getting like 40 comments, like dozens and dozens of likes. I hate social media. These are like vast-reaching posts. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here like I'm losing everybody that has ever cared about me to this relationship. Shannon also posted that she tried to talk to Chance's mother about his behavior. His mother mocked her. Shannon posted about that too. Shannon also like has a really long track record of getting like higher authoritative figures involved in preventing and being left alone. For example, her ex-boyfriend Cody. She has a protection order, a stalking protection order against him. Chance was terrified Shannon would do the same to him. If she got the courts involved, he would never see her again. So he made a choice. This is not the first time Chance Donoghue has stabbed someone. The detectives ask if he has ever lost control like this before. Yeah. What happened? I stabbed my mom's boyfriend because he tried to attack my mom whenever he was in a drunken rage. What happened to him? Went to rehab. They got back together for a little bit and then they broke up. Okay. Is he out of the picture now though? No. He's my little brother's dad. Did you get in trouble for that? No, it was ruled as self-defense because he came into our house. Detective Jude pushes back. But that's not really losing control or going into a rage. That's protecting your mom, right? That's a little bit different. Chance pauses. It felt very similar. A son protecting his mother from an attacker feels the same to him as breaking into his ex-girlfriend's house and stabbing her 29 times. The detectives do not argue. They just let that sit. The detectives ask if Matt was the intended target. Were you hoping Matt would still be there? No, I was hoping Shannon would be alone. Okay. So no, he wasn't like the intended target, right? The only target of this attack is Shannon and Shannon only. Okay. Yeah. If Matt would have walked in while I was there, I might have killed him too. But I spent about 3 hours there afterwards trying to think of what to do next. 3 hours. He sat in her house for 3 hours. I just kind of like after I killed her I was like, well, if we're going to be here, would you just put on some gloves? He thought about what to do next. He smoked cigarettes. He turned off her Wi-Fi. He drilled the door shut. He read her phone. He looked at her body. And he sat there. For 3 hours and 24 minutes. At the end of the day I knew that I wasn't going to get away with it. There's no way I was going to get away with it. First of all, who else is going to kill Shannon? Nobody. Who's the most likely suspect? The person who she just broke up with and is having a really nasty breakup with and is currently making all these nasty Facebook posts about, right? So I mean that's the first person I would look at. He knew he would be caught. But he stayed anyway. Before the detectives end the interview, they ask about a tattoo on Chance's arm. The Ohm symbol. What's the tattoo stand for? It's the Ohm symbol. It represents the sound frequency that's been recorded and picked up throughout the entirety of the known and explored universe. It's often referred to as the God frequency. Chance got that tattoo 6 months before he killed Shannon. The detectives ask one more question. Do you remember what Shannon's last words were? Chance does not hesitate. Her last words were, "I love you." But I don't know if that was out of fear or if she was actually trying to get me to stop or if she just actually loved me and wanted to say it. He will never know. Because he silenced her forever. The detectives leave the room. Chance is alone. The body camera is still recording. He sits quietly for a moment. Then he mutters to himself. Come on. Take me to jail already, dude. He is not remorseful. He is impatient. The charges are filed. 2 counts of aggravated murder. 2 counts of murder. Aggravated burglary. Abuse of a corpse. The evidence is overwhelming. His confession is on tape. His DNA is at the scene. The security footage places him there. The knife is recovered. Neighborhood cameras captured him driving past her house at 11:47 p.m. His shadow visible through her window at 2:11 a.m. His hand, covered in blood, on her porch camera. There is no question of guilt. Chance's mother hires a psychologist to evaluate him. The psychologist provides a provisional diagnosis. Depression. Mood instability. A history of substance abuse. A lack of medication. The psychologist notes that these factors may have contributed to his actions. But they do not excuse them. Chance's mother told police something in the hours after the murder. She said, "This girl has been messing with him pretty significantly since they split up. She was a problem. I anticipated it getting worse before it got better." She knew Shannon was a problem. She did not know her son was about to become a murderer. Chance's family writes letters to the court. They ask for leniency. They describe his troubled childhood. His mental health struggles. They describe him as someone who needed help, not punishment. Shannon's family also writes letters. They do not ask for leniency. One family member stands in court and says, "I want to see the full power of the law at work in the form of a full life sentence without parole." I could talk all day about her accomplishments, how smart, beautiful, and thoughtful she was. What I cannot talk about is how devastating this has been on me and my family. On July 24, 2024, Chance Donoghue pleads guilty to aggravated murder and abuse of a corpse. He does not go to trial. He does not fight the charges. On August 9, 2024, nearly 1 year after Shannon's murder, he is sentenced. Life in prison with the possibility of parole after 31 years. That is 11 years longer than the minimum sentence. Chance Donoghue will be 57 years old before he is eligible for parole. Shannon Hyatt will still be dead. Shannon Hyatt posted on Facebook on August 20th. The day of the breakup. Before the warnings. Before the fear. Before Chance decided she had to die. She wrote. Taking time to focus on myself. Sometimes you have to choose your own peace, even when it's hard. Grateful for the people who have supported me through this. New chapter starts now. August 20th, 2023, 9:34 p.m. 62 likes. 23 comments. 9 days later, she was dead on her hallway floor. Chance Donoghue said he absorbed her spirit when he killed her. He said he felt less alone. He said he felt euphoric. He said they would be together forever. Shannon is not with him. She is nowhere. She is gone. And Chance sits in a prison cell with the knowledge that he took everything from her and gained nothing for himself. No spirit. No closeness. No togetherness. Just the memory of her last words. I love you. Words he will never know the meaning of. In his interview, Chance said, I knew I wasn't going to get away with it. It was just how much time can I give myself to experience freedom before I go to jail for the rest of my life. He gave himself 3 hours and 24 minutes. He spent it sitting in her house. Smoking cigarettes. Reading her phone. Drilling her door shut. Freedom. Shannon wanted freedom too. She posted about it. She chose her own peace. She started a new chapter. She got 9 days. This is Cold Case Beacon. We tell the stories that cannot be forgotten. If this case moved you, if you believe these voices deserve to be heard, then subscribe. Share this. Comment below. Because we are not just covering cases. We are preserving the truth. Thank you for watching. And remember Shannon Hyatt. Not the way she died. But the choice she made to walk away.